from Canterbury Trails Farm. Today we're in the sewing room and we're going to be hemming dish towels. Dish towels are really easy to make. You need a rectangle that measures approximately 22 to 24 inches wide and about 30 inches long. You can use any measurement you want, really, and I tend to use what I have. I have 1 square of unbleached muslin that I've stamped to embroider. I have an example from I was able to get a bunch of feed sacks, unprinted feed sacks, relatively inexpensively, and I just cut those into rectangles. And I have a piece of bleached white muslin. Muslin is really an inexpensive material to purchase to make dish towels out of. A lot of times you can get it for $1 to $2 a yard. I tend to like to wait till it goes on sale and buy a whole 25 yard bolt just because I use it for so much. Muslin can be used to make nightgowns, dish towels, towels, curtains, tablecloths, just about anything, drawstring bags. You can use muslin for so much things that I usually just like to invest in buying a whole bolt. So what you're going to do is you have your rectangle. And this is the way I like to do it. I'm sure there are lots of different ways that different people prefer to do it. I like to start by having my rectangle and then about 1/4 of a seam allowance, fold it in about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to zigzag that first of all. So let me do that real quick. I'm going to use brown threads so you'll be able to see it better when I show it to you. Okay, and I have one edge that's a selvage, where the fabric is finished by the manufacturer so it won't unravel. So I'm not going to hem that. So here you can see the zigzag 1/4 folded over there. So now I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to change to a straight stitch. I'm going to fold it over another 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to straight stitch all the way around. Okay, now you can see. Now, like I said, I purposely used the brown thread so you can see my stitching. It's a little hard on the camera. See, I used white on the front, so it would have been hard for you to see. So now this towel is hemmed. Now what I typically do is I finish my dish towels with an embroidered picture. At the very least, I go around in a blanket stitch all around the edges, and there is another demonstration video on Canterbury Trails Farm showing you how to hand stitch a blanket stitch. You could also zigzag it in another color if you don't want to hand stitch anything, and you can do the zigzag in a different color. You could, instead of straight stitching the fold over, you could zigzag that too if you wanted to. This is an excellent project for a beginning seamstress from start to finish to make an entire project. She can cut it, sew it on the machine or by hand, and then do her embroidery and practice her blanket stitch. And then you can buy the simple embroidery transfers at Walmart or anywhere online. They're not that expensive. You usually get several in one little package. Aunt Martha, I believe, is one of the transfer brands that I use a lot. A lot of times you can find packages of Aunt Martha's unopened transfers on eBay in big lots or at garage sales. I pick them up all the time for like $1/4, and the packages have never been opened. So it's just a fun way to practice your embroidery skills, and it makes a useful, functional project. So I hope this has been an easy how-to for you to make dish towels and really make an item that you use on an everyday basis. And you don't have to have a perfect rectangle. You don't have to use white thread. You can use whatever you have. A lot of times, if I'm not giving these away for gifts, I always like to keep a project that I call a running out the bobbin project. And that's where I use all my bobbins that are different colors that I've used for, projects that I want a more perfect finish. I want the thread to match. I'll have a bunch of odds and end bobbins, and I'll keep a project in a basket until I have enough, like a bunch of them, and it'll be my running out the bobbin thread project. So something that you're not gonna, doesn't matter because it's gonna get used so much, or like it's an inside of something like a pillow or something you're never gonna see the thread from anyway. So that's just a little tip that if you have a bunch of bobbins, you might, and you don't care about the color on your towel, you're just making a functional towel that isn't going to rip and isn't going to come unraveled in the wash. So I hope this has been an educational project for you, and thank you for coming from Canterbury Trails Farm.